This video is for those of you unsure of what to make for lunch or dinner. Ingredients wise, I'm going to be using mostly the grocery essentials I talked about in my previous video. If you haven't seen that yet, I will link it up here and down below. Also, each recipe comes with a super simple recipe formula, which is hopefully going to make it even easier for you to follow along. Let's get to it. Oh, and thank you to Squarespace for making this video possible. Starting with these insanely easy and insanely delicious chili noodles. The overall recipe formula for this one goes as follows: noodles of choice, spinach, soy granules, plus chili crisp dressing. First, place the dehydrated soy granules into a small to medium bowl. Add about half a vegetable broth cube and cover this with hot boiling water. Then set aside for about 6 to 8 minutes. In the meantime, grab a bowl for the dressing, in which you're going to place a minced shallot, a minced clove of garlic, soy sauce, gochugaru, as in Korean red pepper flakes, vinegar, chili crisp oil, tiny bit of sesame oil, and some agave or maple syrup. Last thing you need for the dressing is some vegetable oil that you bring to medium-high heat. You can check with a wooden spoon to see if it's hot enough. You know, once you see bubbles forming around the spoon, that's when you know it's ready. This sounds so satisfying, like... Yeah, last but not least, grab some noodles of choice. I'm going with fresh udon noodles, which only take 2 to 3 minutes. That's about the same time as it takes for the spinach to wilt down, which is why I'm covering both with hot water at the same time. I would have definitely preferred to use a lot more spinach, but that's all I had. Now it's time to bring everything together: the soy, the spinach, noodles, the chili sauce. As always, you can feel free to add extra toppings, such as spring onion, sesame seeds, or whatever else you might like.
This is gonna be so messy to eat, but I'm so ready for it. Oh my goodness.
This next meal I posted a photo of on my Instagram the other day, and I don't think I've ever gotten this big of a reaction. I mean, rightfully so. This is some fresh sourdough bread with homemade tofu ricotta and a summery tomato salad. If you've been with me for a while, you will know that I used to make tofu ricotta all the time, and it is so simple. Blend up all the ingredients for the ricotta. Try to use a tofu with medium firmness. Like the one I'm using here, it's a bit more squishy than what I would normally go for, but it's perfect for this recipe. Also add the juice of half a lemon, salt, non-dairy milk, and then I almost forgot to add in the olive oil.
Olive oil.
Blend until you're left with a whipped sort of consistency. I found these oddly shaped tomatoes at the grocery store. They're just really pretty. I am cutting them in half or into quarters, and then I'm transferring them to a little plate, onto which I'm just eyeballing the dressing ingredients. So that's olive oil, lemon juice, maple syrup, this herby spice mix, and salt, of course. I've been getting more and more DMs recently asking me to make my own sourdough. I am tempted, but also intimidated, because I think I tried to make my own sourdough as a child. I'm not even sure if it was a school project or not, but it wasn't successful. Feel free to toast the bread in advance. If you want to be all fancy, you could do that inside a pan with some butter. But if it's really nice and fresh, I actually prefer it untoasted. Yeah, and of course you can add some basil on top in the end. Maybe some flaky salt, black pepper. This next idea is for this lovely, lovely wrap, which is made up of a toasted tortilla, spinach, crunchy tofu shreds, and a variation of one of Logan's famous TikTok cucumber salads. I'm making the tofu first. by bringing a large nonstick skillet to medium heat with a bit of oil. While that's heating up, I'm shredding my block of tofu. Then I'm mixing in some cornstarch or flour, some salt, some additional spices. I'm allowing this to cook for around 8 minutes, mixing frequently until nice and crispy. Cool, now onto the cucumber. I'm using the cheese grater again, but this time a different side.
Oh, okay.
Which that worked semi-well, although you could use your vegetable peeler as well here. Some way, somehow, cut the carrot, not a carrot, cut the cucumber into ribbons and transfer those to a large jar or a big container with a lid. And then you add the remaining salad ingredients: soy sauce, white wine vinegar, sesame oil, maple syrup, chili crisp oil, a spring onion, unsweetened soy yogurt, and to replace the fish sauce, some nori. Close the jar and shake it up. The dressing is actually going to shrink down the cucumber quite a bit. I could have easily added a second one if I wanted to. Now onto putting together the wrap. So to my warm tortilla, I'm adding fresh spinach, some of the crispy tofu, some of the cucumber salad. The salad on its own is so good. You can of course have it just as it is or on top of rice. Now I know the cucumber videos have been around for, I don't know, 6 months to a year, which in internet terms might as well be a decade. But I feel like I'm famously late to food trends anyway, so. Moving on to this super simple teriyaki rice bowl. You already have most of the ingredients to make this, I am certain. It is really just rice, crispy tempeh, greens of choice, and a super quick teriyaki sauce. First, grab the rice, which you're going to cook up 2 servings of. Meanwhile, cut some tempeh into slices. I've been using tempeh more and more lately, but you can also use plain or smoked tofu instead. Bring a nonstick skillet with a bit of oil to medium/medium-high heat and add the tempeh slices. Let them cook for about 3 minutes on each side or until nice and golden brown. And then drizzle over some soy sauce and give everything another 2 minutes per side. My green of choice is going to be broccoli this time. Bok choy would be super good in this too. You can use a separate pan here if you prefer. I'm letting the broccoli florets boil/steam for 2 to 3 minutes. And then the final component that we need, teriyaki sauce, which is made up of a light soy sauce, white wine vinegar or rice vinegar, sesame oil, maple syrup or sugar, and water. Plus a spoonful of cornstarch mixed in thoroughly. Transfer this mix to a small saucepan. This is optional, but I would recommend you add some chopped garlic in here as well. Then you just bring this all up to a quick boil, reduce the heat to medium, and let it simmer for about 2 to 3 minutes or until you're happy with the consistency. This does kind of feel like a gym bro type of meal, but it is really good. This next meal tastes like straight up takeout food, but it is made in about 10 minutes. These are some upgraded instant noodles with coconut tofu. Cut or tear your block of tofu into chunks. Mix in either flour or cornstarch. Bring a large nonstick skillet with a bit of vegetable oil to medium heat. I'm using coconut oil here. Let the chunks fry until golden brown for about 7 minutes. In the meantime, cook up your noodles. I'm going with instant veggie flavor, making sure to add all the little packages that this comes with. Plus some water, about 2 cups. And I'm also adding some fresh spinach. Now, in the meantime, things have been happening with the tofu. So to the tofu, I added soy sauce and coconut milk or coconut cream. Give everything another 3 minutes or until the tofu has absorbed most of the liquid. And then you transfer this to the noodles and spinach. Just give this a quick mix, and then this turns into a lovely coconut soup. I would definitely recommend to finish this off with a squeeze of lemon juice and maybe also some chili oil, but that is optional. Last but not least, if I'm really out of ideas and energy and ingredients to cook with, then I rely on oatmeal. And this is my current favorite sweet and salty oatmeal combo. To my saucepan, I'm adding the oats, some water, salt, cinnamon, ground flax seeds, semi-sweet chocolate chips, Biscoff spread, unsweetened applesauce, or mashed banana, and that is it. Sometimes I also mix in protein powder. This time I didn't, but I do make sure to finish this off with some frozen berries, which also help everything cool down really fast. Yeah, this is not the most innovative idea ever, but I thought it made sense to include it in this video because in a pinch, I will have this for dinner, which I honestly don't mind whatsoever. There are 2 organizational things I wanted to talk about. The written version of this video, including all the individual recipe steps, are going to be on my Substack email newsletter type thing, which I'm currently testing out and I'm really enjoying so far, so the link will be in the description. And then secondly, I'm currently getting rid of a bunch of my stuff over on my Vinted account, so you can find that in the description as well. Check it out. And then yeah, thank you so much for being here. Feel free to give this video a quick thumbs up. That is always super helpful. Yeah, I hope you have a wonderful rest to your day. Here's a word from my sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform helping you to build, develop, and grow your online brand and business. Start by browsing through their many different, beautifully designed website templates. Choose one and tailor it to your liking. You can create your own logo within Squarespace as well. Also, Squarespace makes it super easy for you to sell bonus hidden content, such as courses, memberships, videos, podcasts, etc. Simply decide whether you want to charge a one-time fee or a subscription. And if you need any help along the way, don't hesitate to reach out to their 24/7 award-winning customer service. Start today. Visit squarespace.com/MinaRome and use the code MinaRome to get 10% off your first website or domain. Bye!